It's time for Q&A in the Kitchen. It's a podcast and YouTube series where tattoo artists in Piercer talk about some of the more common questions that people ask that like to collect tattoos and piercings. Brought to you in part by Skin Kitchen Tattoo and the Axiom Body Piercing Studio. Today we're going to talk about things you don't want to hear in a studio. But before I do that and we get into that, let's tell you who's here. We have Jimmy St. John.
Here. What's up,
Tattoo
guys?
artist of the
How are you?
Kitchen.
Good to be back. Thank you.
Jack Lowe.
Howler.
Owner, operator of the
How are you doing?
Tattoo artist and owner of the Skin Kitchen. Myself, I'm a piercer.
Okay.
I do the piercing and own the Axiom. And then we have Michelle,
Present.
who owns and operates and tattoos at Velvet Lotus in Iowa City, Iowa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for, I was just
Yeah,
going to
thanks
say
for being
thanks
here.
for,
Thanks for coming on.
spending the time with us
Hanging out with
here
us.
It's a pleasure.
in the basement of the Skin Kitchen.
I think of this as like the steam room.
The fit, and I know you smell it, and thank you for being kind enough not to point it out, but it's kind of like the 5,000-pound gorilla in the room. I think the lobster went bad a couple days ago, and we just haven't,
Yeah, well,
haven't got out of here. But
The problems of the kitchen.
we work with what we can here, and it's just, hey.
Hey,
You
suck
have
it up.
lobster here?
it's just
well,
about
yeah.
it's just about
It's
our term.
botulism.
I know.
I gotta come get tattooed by you guys again.
God, that would be
Come on.
awesome.
Well, there's many reasons, but lobster, I guess, could be one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of lobster, I wish Lon John Silver's would bring back the lobster bite things. Those-
Well, they will now.
Oh my God,
I'm sure
they
they
were so
will.
good.
Lobster bite.
Yeah, they were like little chunks of, I'm sure, like whatever they throw
Imitation
away.
lobster.
Yeah. It's probably made in some
Sorry.
lab somewhere.
Some sort of white fish.
Yeah, it was really, they were.
Maybe a scallop.
Maybe.
Okay, so things you don't want to hear in a tattoo studio or a body piercing studio.
I'm going to say oops for number one.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common one.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Fire.
Oh, shit.
Definitely not
Bad.
Not that.
That's
not
kind of my
fire.
number one. Anything else I've probably had happen
Yeah.
at least once. And once is all I need with the fire as well.
Good on that?
I'm over it. But no, that's not a good one on me. Michelle, I'm sorry. Let's go to DaVo.
DaVo?
I always forget you're here.
Is that what?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, typical.
Where's the thing,
I love
Davo?
you.
Wah, wah, wah. That would have been perfect timing.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
we got buttons I could hit, but I don't like that.
He does.
Anyway,
My buttons.
is that with 2 R's?
Yes.
That was-
Yeah.
Oh, Brent
Oh.
Star?
Yeah, we're missing Mr.
like
Star.
you're spelling something. And,
Yes.
is that with 2 R's?
That was with 2 R's, right?
yeah.
No regrets, remember?
Yeah.
Eagle. I thought you said beagle. That one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Regurg.
Strooges.
I'd have to say.
Strugus.
Yeah, Struggus.
Yeah.
How do you spell the damn city?
Don't matter.
What are you going to say?
Oh shit! The lights went out.
Oh.
That's a bad one.
I've been
had that
there.
happen.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, tell me your lights out story.
We were working together, and it was dark as fuck because there was no windows back there.
Yeah. This was at the Douglas, the second Douglas location down.
Plaza
We were
Lanes
part of
location.
Plaza Lanes before it burnt
But we
down with a
found out-
fire.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
You're more important than the fire that destroyed my business, and I had to rebuild it from the ground up. But you know, why don't you go along with your lights out story or whatever?
Okay. Well, you asked me, and then I'm sorry.
We'll cover the Phoenix
Go
story
on
later.
with your
It's okay.
stupid story, Michelle.
Okay, go
my
ahead. Go
story's
ahead.
your
So the
story.
lights went out.
So the lights went out, but we did end up realizing the outlets, a couple of outlets on half the shop worked.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you could plug in your power supply and a lamp, but we had no overhead lights.
Right.
But we had a few of the,
So didn't we run drop cords across the floor to the side, from the side that worked over
we
to your
did,
stations?
and tucked them under the rug so the clients didn't trip on them as best we could.
And you know what ended up happening? That is because that place was built not intended to really be anything, I guess, when they built it, because it did not have the service, meaning the electrical power to it, to sustain what we were giving it. So it would have these capacitors back there, and they'd hold for a while, but it would push them to like max the whole time they were there. So they'd burn out like every 3 to 6 months, 8 months maybe, and then it would start fluctuating, and they'd have to send a guy in and switch out these big capacitors because it would cost a lot to.
I always thought there was a switch up there that clicked, like a fuse.
No,
You'd
I
have to go
wish.
up on the roof. I remember that.
No, that was when the air conditioner was going out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was literally like we've all lived in that house or apartment where you can't run the microwave and the air conditioner at the same time.
Yep.
It's kind of like that.
Jack, I think that was the time of those air compressors, and you had a generator or something too.
Probably.
And that's how you got it going in your station or something.
Well, I think this might have been after you had left and opened up Velvet Lotus in Iowa City, because it started like happening more.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was pretty common, and it happened quite a few times after you were gone, and we started whittling it down to like, oh, it's just pushing this area. We're just using too much power.
Don't
And
run the autoclave
and-
in the microwave
Yeah.
at the same time.
But-
don't
yeah.
do this. Don't
And
do
you
that.
know, the more time goes on, the more you have to plug stuff in. Whether it has a battery or not, you got to charge it.
Yeah.
And there's always another computer and a laptop, and it's just more and more and more. So the more we added another screen, the more we added another whatever, it just burned it out more and more. And then someone lit it on fire. I mean, it burnt
Yeah,
down
it burnt down
naturally.
the whole-
Naturally,
well,
yeah.
yeah, we had
Naturally.
water.
Spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, I'd totally forgotten about the noise, the amount of noise the compressor made in that closet by my station.
Yeah.
Until the barber shop we have below us that just opened up. Nice guys for the most part. They have an air compressor down there.
Oh, here.
Yeah, so I'm like sitting there and like my apprentice Shannon's like, "What is that noise?" I'm like, "Sounds like an air
That's funny.
compressor."
What would they use? Oh,
to blow off the hair.
I
you
guess,
know?
yeah.
That's got to be a small compressor, though.
How about,
It's not like having a workshop down there or something.
Yeah.
I
hear
thought
the
of
stereo.
another one.
Okay.
Oh, what's that?
How about,
I've got a lights out story.
oh,
Wait,
you want that first? Do that. Yeah.
did you finish yours, or was it just that boring? I didn't remember that.
You went all off on
No, I
all
wanted
sorts
you.
of
No,
tangents.
seriously.
Yeah.
You loved
You know,
it.
I'm
You
just
loved
fucking
it.
with you.
You
So
loved it.
please finish
Yes.
your lights out story.
That was the end of the lights
Okay.
out story. And
Okay,
then it
so we can move
digressed
along.
To go
Oh,
the
yeah,
air
with the wires.
compressors
Okay.
And the wires. and
So what's your lights?
Dexter.
I've several, but the one that stands out is now I shouldn't tell it, but I'm gonna, 'cause screw it. In Sturgis, there is a consent law, so a parent can sign if they're okay with their child or their young adult getting a tattoo. So I kind of wrestled with it a little bit, and I kind of thought about it. And what I came to think is, if this parent is willing for their child to get tattooed, and this child is willing to get tattooed, one way or another, that fucker's getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Right? So I thought, I'm not the best, but I sure ain't the worst. And I know I'm not going to get them sick. And I'm going to be able to tell them how to properly take care of it. So if someone's going to do it, and trust me, someone's going to friggin' do it,
then I'm going to step up.
Might as well be you.
then at least I'll do it. And I know that at least I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to, give them the best, tutelage I can, and, talk to them not only in that respect, but, make sure that they're going to come out of this as good as they can, because both the parents are down. So the parents, they're good with it. So that kid knows it anyway. Tattooing this gal, I think she was 17 maybe.
right on the cusp.
So she's right there, and it was a small butterfly right above her ankle bone. So it was, not like Jay's whoever, Bob Dilly Flop
You're not
or
doing
whoever.
69 on somebody's forehead.
Right.
So anyway, for the reasons previously stated, I decided I'd do it.
Right.
So the weather was bad, blah blah blah. Who do the whole city of Sturgis? Kaboom! Lights gone.
Oh my gosh.
The entire
I'm
city.
Sturgis.
And the only light in the whole city that you could see with your eyeballs that stayed on was behind this giant cross up on a hill.
Wow.
So it was like, dun dun dun.
You shouldn't have done that.
Like, obviously he's real.
messed up.
Have you seen the cross?
yeah.
So
Yes.
we waited around a while, like do. So pretty soon somebody pulls in their motorcycle because where we worked in Sturgis, we were right next to this kind of alley,
The knuckle.
kind of like a semi would back up to unload its products. We kind of had one of those doors, but it just kind of went to a ramp. So someone rolled their motorcycle in and turned the light on, so it at least had light in this building that we were tattooing in. Unfortunately, not quite enough. Not only not
Actually
enough
see what
light,
you're doing.
but not enough oxygen. After said motorcycle was running for a
Oh,
while.
he was worried about his battery, though.
Well, no, you have to understand it was raining, hence the lightning and just and I didn't really, but yeah, raining. So a lot of people like to get inside. They're much unlike chickens. Thankfully, thank God my species is unlike chickens. At least
Is it turkeys?
Turkeys that look up.
That supposedly look. Somebody told me that was a wise tale.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be light in the mood. Anyways, long story short, I had to end up finishing the tattoo the next day to not only prolong the tattoo, but prolong me tattooing what would be underage girl in Iowa. And it was all
With
because
the
the lights
thought
went
of
out.
the cross.
Yeah.
With the-
Burning in your memory.
I never saw that part of it.
Yes.
Oh, you've ruined it for him.
Well, I don't,
Now he's
maybe
damned.
that's just a sign that I don't censor everything around myself.
Oh, good.
Well,
I didn't think, that's a sign to me.
And you've brought up an important point. The reason why I pierce minors is because I know that if I don't, and I only do it with parental consent,
Yeah, you are like very strict about it.
is because I know if I don't, they're going to either try to get their friend to do it, or they're going to have it in a terrible situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sure.
it's like, you kind of feel like I need to do this if I'm capable of
Well,
it.
yeah.
That's, and that's kind of what I say to parents and stuff when they bring it up is, well, how do you feel about that? And I'm like, well, really, I more agree than disagree.
Yeah.
Because, just on the really more for me being, if I could have gotten tattooed when I was 16 or 17,
I got something stupid.
I mean, I think not only would I probably not be super stoked with it, it would have, at this point, it would have been there a long time, and it would probably be in prime area, where now I've kind of jumped before, I'm ready, fire, aimed it a little bit. And sometimes you need somebody that's seen down the road a little farther go, dude, those kind of tires in a little while are going to not be a good choice. And you're like, screw you. And you're like, screw me. I've been down this road, man.
Right.
You're like, no, you haven't. Not like I drive, bro. And then you get there and your tires are shredded and you're like, oh, man.
he knew.
But you can't change out those tires, really. You got to kind of deal with those tires. So there's my tire analogy. You're welcome.
There you go.
Yeah, and see, that's why I'm so adamant about having the parent involved. And the thing when parents call me and like you can tell they're like, "Please talk my child out of getting this
I don't want to say
done."
no. Can you do
And
it?
it's like no, you need to have a discussion with your child. This is going to be a learning experience for both of you.
Yeah.
And you're going to bond over this stuff. And it's going to make you a better parent and them a better child and et cetera. But do you not want to be involved in something that's going to involve a needle or something or ink or something that's permanent? Piercings are permanent to a degree.
Yeah.
The same thing with tattoos.
Well, you would hope that they'd, use that opportunity that they're both learning about something that they're very interested in. The parent is because it's affecting their child, and the child is because Sarah got one, and by God, I'm getting one.
Right.
So they're both going to listen to this information together, and they're going to be hearing it pretty much at the same time, so they can't deny it.
Yeah.
And they're both going to learn, and they'll both be able to decide based on that information. Either one side's going to be like, oh, totally, and you get it, and you know why, or it's going to be like okay, that wasn't so bad. And the other one's like, yeah, that's about what I thought. I don't know. What do you think? And so they have that in common. They both, not one's like, oh, you don't even know. So if they go at it like that they're both like, okay, you're right. I don't, but you don't either. So let's call DaVo. He'll talk to us both. Let's go in there and sit down with him, and he will bore the crap out of you.
because
with
I
every
love
angle of
talking
it.
about one subject usually.
Friggin' Pearson, man.
Piercing.
Pearson and Punk. He'll lay in his casket and we'll close it going, okay, that's good. Talking about that, and God bless him for it. He's like an oracle. Once he goes, I don't know what the fuck
Oh, I'm
gonna
full
happen.
of tons of useless information about
Yeah,
music.
and he'll tell you how, and he'll tell you why he hates it. But anyway,
because
We love you,
because
DaVo.
yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that most people are like, oh, you're such a snob. It's like, no, I don't like it. I actually have experienced
don't
it,
like
and
anything.
I don't like it. It's not like I like sat there and went, oh, I'm not going to eat cooked cabbage. I've had cooked cabbage.
Right.
So
It's not good. I'm sorry. I've had like 4 because St. Patrick's Day. We're recording this the day before St. Patrick's Day. And I've had probably like 5 females call me and go, hey, I'm going to bring over corned beef and ham and cabbage. And I'm like, no, I can't eat it anymore because of my heart, which
what
is a lie.
the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just using it now.
We're not gonna talk
And then we're
about
gonna go off
cabbage
to
anymore.
something else.
unless we're making it.
Every single one of them. But the reality is I just really hate cooked cabbage.
I couldn't decide if that was gold or if I needed.
So
that's fine.
I'm the same way with music is what I'm getting at.
But
You had another lights out story? Is that what you
Yeah.
were saying?
It wasn't
no,
a
she had
lights out
another
story. It was
idea.
another.
Okay.
What was the theme? Things you don't want to hear at the tattoo studio.
Or any
Oh.
studio.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
I'm
blowing my
learning.
freaking
Thanks.
eardrums out, man.
Thank you.
Jeez, I know it's
no, mine.
exciting. I'm excited too.
I'm excited you're here.
But
I appreciate your constructive criticism.
dude, she got so good at saying that after working with me.
Yeah.
Every other,
You know, secretly that's shut the fuck up.
I've taken at least 4 years off her life.
That's
easily
code.
with the stress.
Kind of like whatever.
And
All
then-
right.
Okay. Go on. Okay.
Other things. It is state tournament bowling, high school state tournament bowling time.
Jesus fucking.
That's true.
I still have trauma.
Yeah, me too. So
Yeah,
for
we
those
should explain
that, yeah,
this.
somebody's
Yeah, I have no idea
gonna
what
have
you're
to
talking about.
explain it. Jimmy, you weren't there, but like the bowling alley was above and over to the left of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tattoo
Yeah, I
studio, so
visited.
you didn't really hear it much unless
Right.
everything was dead quiet.
Right.
But state tournaments for the high schoolers were held at that bowling alley.
Okay.
And the locker room was directly above us.
Okay.
So they would come down the hallway and just drop their bowling balls, which was the ceiling right above
Yeah.
us. I mean,
But that was horrible.
Like
terrible.
2 days.
and there was
of it.
probably, I don't know, a couple hundred kids.
Yeah. I bet that
Overall,
sucked.
in and out, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I
god!
bet
It was
that
like
awful.
it was like the most annoying thunder at the worst time
Yep.
you could ever imagine.
Lots of deep
Over
breathing.
and over.
That reminds me. Not long ago, you ordered a video game, and we're pretty avid video game players. And he's tattooing a customer, and thank God he's doing shading. He's not lining or anything. But I go up. We've been waiting on this game, and Amazon's been acting weird, and the Postal Service hasn't been delivering. And we're like, oh, man, the game's going to get lost. We're not going to get it. So he comes in one day, and he's like, hey, go check and see if, the door opened, see if the mail's bringing our thing. So I go up there, and I'm like, it came. So I come running around his door, and I jump in his doorway, and I'm like, you're never going to guess what happened. And he's like, holy shit. And he jumps, and I'm like, oh, fuck. He's like, yeah, retard. You ever been in a tattoo shop? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, our game came.
That was after about 20 seconds of silence, and him and my eyes locked. Him realizing realizing what he did, and me watching him realize what he did, and trying to make him realize it's worse.
I was like,
He's realizing what he did. And
I was like, what?
and then finally I'm like,
He's like, good thing I was shading.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
More to razz him
Oh,
because,
Pigment.
I like to belittle others to bring myself up. It's,
So yeah, that was, one
but
of those
no,
instances.
that was funny, but
what not to
and,
do.
and that,
Yeah.
it's a
tattoo
beautiful
shop.
game.
Yeah.
There's no surprises there, please.
Yeah.
I have a lights out story actually though.
Great.
All right.
So I used to work for this guy back in Virginia, and he was one of the old school biker guys. We worked by a military base. It was very, and we're in this old building where the tattoo shop is, and there's a car mechanic shop next to us. It's all one big building, and it used to be a bottling company in the 20s. So it's old brick mortar kind of building with a metal roof. Well, in Virginia, we have hurricanes. So, no matter what, you work. Like, there's a foot of snow on the ground. Real men drive to work. We don't miss work because of some snow, Well, nobody's going to come get tattooed. I don't care. Be there. So we're in there. and this hurricane's hitting, and nobody's in there. So all of us are standing on the back deck, smoking cigarettes and laughing and making fun of us being at work in the middle of a hurricane. And about that time, we hear this horrible noise, and we look up, and the roof has been ripped off from the card shop side all the way over to us and laid out into the back parking lot where all these customer cars and stuff are for the automobile shop. Yeah. They had to have a crane coming in and pick it up. It was a mess.
Man.
But like we call Scotty because like all the lights go out, all the power goes out, and he always kept a phone that you plug into the hard lines.
Yeah.
So when everything goes out, you can still answer phone calls. Because we'd be like, "Hey, Scotty, the power's out. You know, we don't have to go to work." And he's like, "No, you're going to go. You're going to plug that phone in. And you're going to answer phone calls all day on the hours we're supposed to be open." And I'm like, "Okay." So I remember calling him and being like, "Hey, I think we're going to have to close early." And he's like, "Why in the F are you going to have to close early? Give me one GD good reason." I'm like, "Well, the hurricane just ripped the roof off the building, and we got no power, and it's raining inside on us." And he's like, "Plug the phone in and somebody stay there and answer the phone." And I'm like, I kid you not, dude. And we were like, to see who stays and answers the damn phone.
Man.
And the rest of us are leaving because it's raining in the building. Like, there's no roof, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a strict boss, but you know that's a decision that's made on the ground at the time, and
It was different times, dude. You know, that was like early 2000s.
yeah.
You know.
We're like, missing a day of phone calls could cost you $7,000, $8,000.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Who
Oh, yeah,
knows,
dude. We were by a
really.
military base. If you missed payday weekend, you missed
Ooh.
tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You know,
To be down.
I thought of a good one.
Okay.
Something you don't want to hear. I've been having trouble seeing this morning.
Yeah, that's not.
That would
not
make
good.
me like,
that'd be bad.
we can push this back. bro.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, and that brings up a story. When I was getting my throat done by Cap in Sturgis, almost exactly that happened in a way. It wasn't his eyes, but he had come down with something because he rode, to Sturgis because he's
A biker.
well, yeah, God rest his soul. So anyway, I went in there and he knew I was there. I had talked to another artist who told him about me and what I wanted because it originally set up with her, but she's not as good and she knows it. Sorry, Judy, but
Oh.
no, it was funny. She joked about, she said that. She goes, "Yeah, no, that's cool. You were cool with me until you knew Cap was here. And so you just set, your girl up with me to, shut me up." And I'm like, "No, Judy, that's not what happened at all." And I'm thinking, man, she freaking nailed it.
We'd love to have her on the show sometime, by the way.
I mean, it was tough, I was just as stoked to get tattooed by
Either
Judy.
one.
But then again, I haven't been tattooed by Judy.
Hand
but
that, Judy.
Thank God she can tattoo now because, I think we've lost now 60 to 65% of the population from COVID. They're just dead. God rest. God rest in their weary souls. But she can now, I think, starting yesterday, can finally
Yeah, they can tattoo again.
Good for Judy.
Closed
Yeah.
that whole time. So I might just
my
have to go out and support her a bit. Oh, no, wait. They probably won't let me in. Anyways, back to my point.
Yeah.
I don't have a point.
Okay.
All right.
Things you don't want to hear in a tattoo studio. From my standpoint, can I pay you tomorrow?
Yeah, we take checks.
Yeah.
This card don't work. That's a bad one.
I'm
Or
having a
we
hard
had-
time with this card.
I mean, we could go into like the most current worst customer that we've had.
Oh, man.
I got
But
one.
I don't know if we really want to go into that. Basically, there's criminal charges going on right now, actually.
Yeah, that one. Right.
Yeah, this guy, he finished. He got done with the tattoo, and then he was like, "I don't have enough to pay for this."
Oh, we are going to talk about it.
Well, I'll just leave it at that. That's something you do not do. You make sure that you have enough in your bank account
Yeah.
to pay for what you've applied for. Because his attitude was pretty much, "What are you going to take it back?"
Those were his exact words.
Yeah, that was his exact words.
I mean,
and then
back in the
it
day,
turned
we
into
would've.
another entirely different thing. but
Now
we
the
won't get
police
into
take
that.
care of it. But anyway, like back in the day, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Or can I write a check? Who do I make this out for?
I had one time. I was tattooing a dude. We've come up with a design. We've stenciled it. We're tattooing it. And about halfway through it, his wife calls.
Yeah.
I thought we decided that we don't like this thing or that thing. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
And he's like, so can we change this? And I'm like, halfway through the outline, you want to change something? On the...
You've already started tattooing, Jim?
Oh, yeah, halfway through the outline.
Yeah.
We got about, out of a piece this big, we got like this much more to outline.
Yeah.
And his wife calls and changes the design.
So you don't want to hear the phone ring in a tattoo?
Yeah, that was a bad thing to hear.
Okay.
You don't want to hear your client on the phone say,
Well, I'll ask him. Hold on. I'll ask him.
What do you think?
yeah.
Yeah, like I guess another thing would be is when you show up for the appointment to go, I've decided to go with an entirely different design.
That's
yeah,
fun.
that does suck. That does suck. You know, just as a perspective, at least from my side on that, I really like what I do. So, thankfully, and I hope this is how it goes for most people. Like I said the other day, my freaking clients rock.
Yeah.
They bring me just killer stuff all the time. I don't know if it's, you know, it just so happens that right now my clients are matching my taste somehow and whatever or what, but it's awesome and I love to do it. And when they change gears after you've got excited about it and you've ran it through your processor a million times and all that, for them to kind of go, it's harder to get that excited again. You really can't. Because you're like, I don't trust you. I'm not going to get that excited now because you're going to rip the rug out from under me again. Right. So you know what? Just, okay, fine. Just what do you want? You know, it kind of will pull you back. Not always, but really when they just kind of abandon that idea and they shift gears on you again, you're like, oh, well, you're just flipping through websites. Like, this isn't, you're not as in love with this as I am. Like I want you to freaking be
you're gonna wear
excited with this. And and maybe that's asking too much because a tattoo is different for different people.
Right.
You know, some people wear them like a T-shirt, and that's great, and other people means the world to them. But I guess, you know, think about it, because your artist is going to do their best job if they know you love it, you're dedicated to it, and you're excited about them doing what they do. Right. At least that's my.
You're putting a piece of you in it.
Yeah, always. Yeah. You know? Always.
Plus, I don't, and from my own perspective, is I don't think people understand that when you are zeroed in on doing a task, you have mentally prepared. You've looked in your calendar and you said, I'm doing this today.
Exactly.
And I'm doing that at this time, at this moment, on this person. And then they come in and your mind's totally set on that task, and they come in and they go, oh, I want something completely freaking different. You have to we're human. It takes us a little while to adjust back to a different task, and it leaves us a little bit off.
Yeah.
In most cases.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially if it's last minute.
And you know, down to that, even if you know, I have a half day or full day appointment, whatever it is, if I have when I have a tattoo, I prepared for it. But anyway, if it's 10, 15 minutes past when I was expecting to go, I'll start waning in my focus. Because now my mind is like, okay, I guess I have a day open. Gosh, I could use it. It sucks because I want to do this. But if I have this day, well, then, heck, I could get this done, and I could make a benefit of this. And, oh, they're here? Oh, okay. And then you go...
Put the brakes on and jump back in.
I've had that.
You know, and it's hard to, you know, get right back in. Normally I can. Normally I can. But the longer it is, the
harder it is.
It's so much harder, and I can't focus like I could.
And I think the older I get,
the
harder it gets to do that, because a lot of times I wear a lot of different hats. I'll be working on a website, be updating this and that, and then I have clients coming in, and then I have to stop everything and go do this. And if I say, let's say you're coming in for a navel piercing, and suddenly you get there and it's like, I want to do this really complicated ear piercing. Yeah. It's like, me think this way. And then it'll take me 45 minutes to get back to what I was doing before, and then it's just
it's just like someone walking in with a complex tattoo idea and expecting it like kind of right now. It's really the same thing. You know, it's like, whoa, I know I make this look easy on TV, but this ain't TV.
That's one way of putting it. And we've talked about this before, that you guys invest a lot of time in drawing these.
Oh boy. But I love it. You know,
I love it.
Thankfully I have no other responsibilities in my life.
Yeah, my customers are great, and I'm very fortunate, and I love what they let me do. Like,
Yeah.
Here's one I don't like hearing. I'm leaving on vacation tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, can I get in a swimming pool? No.
That's
No.
a drag.
No, you cannot. Do you want to do this when you get back? Unless you have Sandy Derm.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Ad
Bam, for
placement
tattooers.
right here. That cost them, I don't know, we'd take $1,000. Anyway, no, this stuff, just quickly, it's a bandage. You put it on, you can leave it on for quite some time. It's
Yep.
waterproof. You can swim with it.
Awesome.
It pretty much just kind of, in my understanding, the way I think of it, it's almost kind of like a pre-made scab, although it does not look like a scab
Like a
or
second
feel like
skin.
one or anything else. It's a very thin, clear layer, which is awesome because you can still see your tattoo, which is dope. And you can kind of go on about your business. You do have to be careful about UV rays. As far as I know, it's not UV protective, but put that
yet.
on your list. And I'll only take $50K a month for the first 6 years
See, and I've been asked.
Nice.
for that idea because we would love that. And it would make vacation goers getting hobby or getting trinket tattoos, whatever you call them.
Yeah, festivals. and
Souvenir tattoos, excuse
travel
me.
tattoos.
Or
yeah.
I wish I had this stuff when I was in Sturgis.
Yeah,
Holy
right?
crap, it would have been
yeah.
rad. But
Yeah,
anyway,
anyway.
it's really, really cool stuff. So depending on what kind
Yeah.
of vacation,
Yeah, it's just.
but it's not ideal by any means.
Well, I don't know how many navel piercings I've done in my life, and then immediately after I'm done doing it, they're like, "Oh, this is going to look so great on the beach that I'm going to tomorrow."
Yeah.
And it's like,
Wah,
you
wah,
didn't really
wah.
think this out, and you didn't listen to me when I was telling you no swimming.
Not a word.
Yeah, and I've been asked whether or not that stuff works with piercings, and I'm kind of,
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of they're two different animals and two different wounds. So
Like,
I need to do
like-
more research on it.
Like a nipple, maybe I could see, but like not on a low.
Not on a ear.
How would
yeah,
you
it'd
use
be
it on a
hard to
piercing?
put on certain piercings.
Right.
Generally, it's asked about nipples and navels, but really, I don't know if you'd want to have that
Yeah, I don't
wrapping
know, man.
around a.
Well, I could see it as like if it is, maybe say a nipple piercing on a guy, for PC reasons.
I'm thinking about
Not
the
that there's
hair.
any difference
There's no suck
between
coming
guys or
off.
girls, but if hey, I'm going to the pool for a couple hours, I'll
Yeah.
put this on, swim around, then when I'm done, take it off. It might
Be careful if it adheres to
Just
that
yeah, so
jewelry.
just
Oh,
I'm sure.
you're
yeah,
gonna pay
that,
for it. Oh, you're gonna
that,
pay for it.
and I'm worried about because it's really on there.
Yeah, dude, it sticks.
I'm worried about that, and I'm worried about whether or not it's 100%. I mean, that's a problem with waterproof bandages. They work under perfect conditions. But
Well-
are you going to have the most perfect conditions?
They do work in. I can attest at least so much for showers, like daily
Yeah.
showers, and it really does. If you get it good and stuck on there, and you leave yourself a decent barrier or a
Yeah, it works.
edge, it'll adhere really well.
Absolutely.
Depending on the body part, but
I think it's great
I
for
don't know.
tattoos. I think
Yes.
it's going to really improve some of the things you can do, and as far as aftercare and letting people go and not having to worry about it. But I'm still on the fence with piercing.
yeah, I never really thought about that
Me
because
And I've been being asked for the application. Let's see other things we don't want to hear in a tattoos. Oops, of course, we kind of covered that.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
that
was
first,
oops, how we started.
and then I said fire.
God, there was something that was in my head earlier, and it's gone now.
Like,
Like a lot of things.
yeah, I was hoping you'd get that one because you
Maybe-
just left it.
Yeah,
way
I just
too
left
easy.
it there, just simmering.
But yeah, I don't know. Other than the real obvious.
Just etiquette, man.
Oh, how about when I'm showing somebody something that's really gonna take some doing, but can be done the size I'm showing it, and they are like, "Oh, I was wanting that on my finger," or can you? I
Bummer.
want that behind my
Yeah.
ear or something. And I've prided myself a bit on being able to do some stuff and push myself to try to give people what they want and really get as comfortable as I can with tighter groupings. But man, longevity and everything is really there seems like there's times in tattooing where that kind of wanes. The
Yes.
thought of how long is that going to look
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
And that's the battle. We're building sandcastles. Really, that's
man.
about the same stay power that our art has. about any other kind of art, even a spray painting on an underpass can last longer than a tattoo. So, we have to work within those boundaries. So,
Sure.
It's a constant battle, I guess, to try to do what's going to make you happy, but stay within the realm of what you're given to do.
So one of the things you don't want to hear is, can I do that smaller?
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't,
especially if it's a really detailed tattoo. Well, micro tattooing was a thing. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I skipped the Right on Rice class.
And I think this is part of it is as artists, tattoo artists, piercing artists, we want to produce something that you can enjoy for the rest of your life.
Yeah, man.
And if you're 20, that's 60, 70 years.
Well, and if you worked in a carnival and you were just stopping by, you wouldn't care.
No.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that, I hope to be around a long time.
Yeah.
And when I run into you at the store 30 years from now, I would love to look at that sucker and go,
And it'd be
man,
cool.
that looks good. And them to go, yeah, I love it. People still compliment me.
Yeah.
Held
Man.
up well.
Yeah, that's
What
the
else?
object, man.
There's nothing more you could say to make me any happier, really.
Nope.
That's
Yeah.
what that's what you go for. And it's a kind of a trade-off between being able to convey to that person, like, hey, I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm saying I shouldn't do it because staying within the realm of stayability and how it's going to look
not
and
gonna
everything
hold
else.
up.
Like, yeah, I can do it.
Sure,
It'll look
sure.
just like that until you get any sun or live past 2 years from here. It's not what I'm going for,
Nope.
but and it all depends on what they expect. So,
And then it's going to look like abstract art.
Yes.
which might be exactly what they're going for.
Yeah.
Well,
you
then,
know.
Shazam.
Right?
Another thing you don't want to hear from clients in a tattoo studio or piercing studio is, my due date is.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Yeah, you shouldn't get pregnant, or you should get pregnant. Oh Lord!
Oh, I want that soundbite. Mark this the time signature.
Yeah.
I'm pulling that soundbite.
Unless you're ready, which no one ever is. I don't care what anybody. You're like, I'm gonna have children when I'm ready.
What you were trying to say?
Nobody
don't
is. Just don't get
reverse.
tattooed. Don't get pierced. Don't get any type of body modification if you are expecting children.
And the main reason is because if you get an infection while you are pregnant, it is way, way, way harder to treat it. And not only is your fetus at risk, any medicine that's really going to knock that out might knock out your fetus.
Yeah.
So you are risking the life of your child to get a tattoo or a piercing.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't
chill.
don't
I want, trust me, I live for it. If
I'll be
I
here when you
couldn't,
get
I'd be, whatever, but I'm not going to frickin' be any part of you losing or damaging yourself or your frickin' kid. So if you don't care, at least understand that some artists do care. And if you go in and you lie and something down the road happens, not only is that going to rip you apart, man, you are devastating someone else's life forever, knowing that they had any part in
Absolutely.
doing that. So don't do it. You're putting yourself in such a vulnerable spot.
It's only 9 months, man. Hold
Public
out.
service
I'm gonna be
amount
here
announcement
afterwards.
over. But anyway, yeah.
Plus, I don't know about you guys, but I would feel terrible if I was responsible for
Yeah.
causing a miscarriage.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like we just said.
don't know what I-
Devastated.
Don't know why I
Even
didn't
if
do that.
somebody just flat out lied to me about it, I would just feel
Well, yeah.
awful.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cool. Be honest.
And kids
Anyway.
don't get pregnant.
Yeah. That's yeah.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe's.
The more
No.
you
Oh
know.
my God.
Yeah, the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know.
And you'll never be ready for it. It's just part of life.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Um,
Most people aren't, so I think they're
well, I
getting
don't
that
think
message.
most people are in general.
They're not.
For most things. And that's great. That's part of the living experience. You know, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Everything.
I feel like I'm listening to Casey Kasem. Keep your feet on the ground. And reach up for the stars.
I like it when David gets in
Today,
the
one viewer from blah, 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 blah.
I like it when David gets in the grandpa mode.
Oh, grandpa
Long
mode?
distance
Yeah,
relations.
he starts
Not
telling
quite
you-
there. I have a
dedication.
grand dog, but no grandkids.
He keeps telling you like what part
Little
of everything
pieces of
sucks.
wisdom that we like to,
Just like grandpa.
fertilize the internet with.
Nice.
Michelle,
do you have another one?
I want you to think of another one because I don't feel that you've had enough input on this.
We need the female perspective, or
Oh,
however you
female
define yourself
perspective.
as.
I don't know. When you were talking, Jack, about the getting it a little bit smaller. Sorry. Oh my God, I was nervous.
That's
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
We're
so
listening.
I had it in my head, and
I'm used to
then anyway.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this one? That you like it or don't like it? It's kind of along the same lines. Oh, and I want it all in white.
Yeah.
I don't do white
I'm sorry.
tattoos
Yeah.
personally
DaVo, you've obviously heard that one a few times.
because they never turn out white. The stencil
No.
it alters the color of the white. It's, you know what I mean? It's just, it's hard to get right. It doesn't look well. Like, if you want a tattoo that looks like when you're tattooed that nobody has, you don't have one, I'm not really your guy. If you want one that, like, when you go somewhere and they're like, holy crap, where'd you get that tattooed? Then I'm your dude.
The monetary reward does not satisfy you,
Well-
and not only that, but the result doesn't satisfy you enough that the monetary reward is enough.
Because
I
you guys
understand
need
that.
to explain.
Well,
that
we have
you
other
would
guys in
have-
the shop that would happily do it and do.
Yeah.
You know.
that you would basically have to go, okay, their pigment is like this. So if I do the pigment underneath there to match that color to make white, then it'll be white, because otherwise it's not going to be.
You can't match the color.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Is
No.
that you're looking through that.
Yeah, you're mixing basically your skin tone with the color.
Yeah.
You know, the best analogy is the tinted window. You know, you
Yeah.
tint a window, you put a white piece of paper under whatever color the tint is, you're going to see it, and it's going to dim the white just a little bit. So if you've got really dark skin, it's going to tint it more,
Not
and it's
gonna
going to
work.
push it more to whatever. If you're very, very light skinned, redhead, whatever, man, those colors are going to be probably as close to as true as you're going to get.
Sure.
And everybody falls in there somewhere. So it's a bit of a guessing game, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Is this not going to be
Yeah.
white?
Right.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
Never.
So it all depends on, you know, like, I've had people want white tattoos, and some of them are like, no, man, I want this thing to look super nice. And I'm like, well, that's not realistic in this, you know.
Sure.
And I've also had people go, yeah, I know it's going to kind of look a little rough, kind of scarish, or however people describe it, and it's not going to be, but I'm okay. I just want, you know, I just want to know it's there and that I got it tattooed on me, you
Right.
know. Okay, great. You know, it's all about understanding what their what
their
they
needs
expect.
are and their
Educating them, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I was talking to him and go, you know, it can be done, but, you know, within this realm is usually, you know, what you can expect. So if you're outside of there, this might not be the one for you, and this is why. Not that I can't do it or won't do it. It's, you know, it's not really rewarding for me because I really can't give you what I feel is my best. But in the situation, you understanding that this is a odd situation and an odd thing to do, I will do my best given those restrictions. If you're both good with that, get down, son.
I feel you. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Okay. And
Nailed
it. And you can comment on this one. I think probably maybe just as much as I can. Possibly. I don't know. Do you have any female piercers or female tattoo artists?
We
That
hear that
usually kind of
sometimes.
triggers me in a lot of different ways.
Oh.
Because I've
the
had
thing you don't wanna
some
hear.
creepy experiences.
Sure, I have too. There was a client that I tattooed in the groin area, very close to the shaft of his penis, kind of in that crease
Yeah.
between the thigh and
Great
that.
movie. Sure.
I stepped up and just felt like I treated it professionally and okay, listen to what you want and I'll do it.
Is this when you got the mushroom stamp when he turned? No? Okay, different thing.
Okay,
Go on.
never mind.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have no idea.
different
what that
story.
means.
Different story.
Okay.
So
That's for night
he
visits.
kept coming back, you know, he wanted a female artist.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he just kept coming back asking for touch ups. So, I'm just going off of what you said being
See,
creepy.
the two
like,
things that usually when I hear that is it's either a jealous boyfriend or which is going to be a terrible experience for everybody involved because he's going to sit there and he's going to stare at everything you do the whole time because there's something wrong with that relationship in my opinion to begin with, or it's some creepy dude.
Right. Definitely have had the boyfriend that prefers their girlfriend to get tattooed by a female for sure.
And then sits there and stares. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have to touch her there? Yeah. Well, that's where she wants her tattoo, buddy. So
Sorry.
yes,
Sure.
I have gloves on if that helps.
I'm sure that's more you guys. Like when they're getting tattooed by me, I think like they're not as worried about me.
I could care less.
I've never felt any. I can't remember the last time I felt any kind of weirdness from any spouse or anything.
It's skin, man. Like
ever.
well, I mean,
not ever, but
like,
maybe it's because
sure in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Just doesn't. I don't know. I just don't. I haven't had to deal with that, thankfully. I guess for a long time.
Do you think
Nice.
that's because people sexualize piercings?
Or
So-
that could be that I don't care.
Yeah,
and I just
that's
don't
too.
see it.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it because that doesn't matter to me. I don't care. You deal with your own mind and your own
Yeah, that's your
shortcomings. I got
problem,
a job to do, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
And I mean, and usually it doesn't even come up unless they actually say something. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so desensitized to it anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, we're so used to you guys' canvas is the human body. The thing that I see all of it. I don't care anymore.
yeah, and
It's just
but it's something I guess like it doesn't do you any benefit really to be conscious of it if they're sitting there going, man, that guy's touching my girl's shoulder. I wonder if I'm not getting into that, dude. In my mind, what you're signed up for. You know that I have to physically touch your body to apply it.
Yeah, man.
And for me to do what I
Right.
do good, I need to not even go in that. That doesn't even play into any factor. I'm trying to do the best I can, as professionally as I can, to represent myself as I've represented myself over the last 27 years.
You're in a better headspace than thinking
man.
about all of that.
I'm
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
about tattooing,
Focus
dude.
on what
I could
you're
care less what
doing.
you think,
And I
Yeah.
have to say that as somebody that's had some kind of odd experiences with that, when they like you touching them in that area,
Oh
and so
man,
forth.
this got weird.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And
Do we need to get the dolls out? Show me where he touched you.
bad touches? Being disassociated from it, and being able to separate yourself and go, I'm a professional. This is what I do.
Yeah.
This has nothing. Whatever the hell is going on with this person has nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
And separating yourself usually solves the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm sure women tend to not be as aggressive. Men, I've had a couple.
I want to get that soundbite as well. Can you mark that time code? Thank you. That's
Yeah, well-
awesome.
Yeah, well,
So awesome.
that's a joy of the. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I love this business is I get to interact with all
Pearson's-
kinds of people.
Yeah, it's beneficial.
It's like working at Walmart. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I think it's better than Walmart because we don't have as many complaints as they have at Walmart.
not as close. I'm teasing. Sorry.
Anything else?
I think we better stop while we're behind.
Oh, gee. Okay. I think we've done a pretty good job of kind of beating this to death. And maybe that gave some people some things to think about. The next
Oh,
time
I'm
they
sure.
go in to get pierced.
I'm gonna have nightmares. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're just having fun.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah,
fun.
we're having fun.
Here in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do what we do without our clients.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's why we love you.
It's pretty smart to pick one of the only mediums in the world you can't do by yourself.
I know.
I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I love to spend time alone and create. And oh wait, crap.
That's why every time I see like I'm an antisocial outsider and it appears, it's like why?
Yeah.
Why you're gonna be miserable?
Become a forest ranger.
Do you know how many-
that's going to work
Do
better
you know how
for
this
you.
works?
Do you know how many pages of paper out there need 3-hole punched?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of ink cartridges that need to be changed.
Right, and you can do that by yourself.
Yeah,
Go
doesn't require anybody.
call up the paper company. They need you.
Be a post office worker
Yeah, a lot of walking.
Sign us
Yeah.
off.
You can lose a
Job's
few
not
pounds.
for you.
all by yourself.
I'll give you
If you're-
$10 if you sign us off right now, DaVo.
I'm done.
Do it.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed this in any way, shape, or form, please give us a thumbs up if it's on YouTube. If it isn't on YouTube, let us know you like it. If you, I don't know how you do that.
I want that
Postcards are great. Jack loves getting mail.
Good
So, if you haven't already, please subscribe or follow. If you like swag, you like t-shirts, you like etc., check out our merch store. Link is in the description. Till next time, here's hoping all your tattoos and piercings heal with ease and without any single problem. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, or even the Iowa City area, We hope to see you for your body piercing and tattooing needs in the future. Have a good day, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this because I had fun.
Be nice to each other,
funny.
guys. Later.
And us, please.